Hello once again YouTube, and welcome back to Watches and Wonders. It is me, Tom, behind the camera once again, and today I'm going to be bringing you the Addiesdive AD2047, or as I like to call it, the Blue Monster. So, straight away we can see from this is homaging a very, very famous watch. Not only is it homaging a very famous watch, it's homaging my favourite watch. I've been a massive fan of the Seiko monsters now since as long as I can remember. I remember my uncle bringing back a Generation 1 orange monster, and from that day I fell in love with them watches, and I have hunted, is the best way to put one, for one on a really good deal for many years. Unfortunately, it's not come my way yet, but one day all we can do is hope. So, in front of us, as I stated, we have the Addiesdive AD2047. This watch is, all in all, amazing. There is no other way I can put it. Straight to the point, amazing. Everything lines up. Everything is exactly how it should be on this watch. The dial, the loom, the movement, everything is everything we wished for from the original Seiko monster. Now, I do believe, and I could be wrong, this is homaging a Generation 3. Now, I'm not sure if you can see from the camera, but it does have a textured dial, which we will get into a little bit later. I have a few moans and niggles to say about that, but at the same time, I'm sure once I've explained it, you may understand, you may not. You may think I'm an idiot. Don't worry, most people do. We get used to it and we move on. So, here we have the Addiesdive using a NH35A movement, which is Seiko's date-only automatic movement, which you will find in a lot of the lower-priced automatic Seikos. It is a 21,600 beats per hour movement at 3 Hz. It's got a 41-hour power reserve on the movement, and it is 24 joules. Now, Seiko have been making these movements now for quite a while. They are tanks, absolute tanks. They have a plus or minus, I believe it is plus 40 seconds per day, minus 20 seconds per day tolerances on them. I've never, not once, from homage brands all the way up to Seiko themselves, I have not once ever found a watch where the tolerances are that out. So, looking at this watch at the moment, as I stated earlier, you can see that it is a Seiko Monster homage. It is using the Seiko NH35 movement. Now, let's get into some of the dimensions of this watch. This watch is a 42mm case width with a 47.7mm lug-to-lug, which is incredibly compact for a lug-to-lug. On a watch that is a 42mm size, that lug-to-lug makes it fit even the smallest of wrists, like my own. It is made from 316L stainless steel and weighs in at 194 grams with all links. I have removed some of the links and I have got it down to 160 grams. Whilst looking at the watch at the moment, you will see, now this is one of my favourite but also my pet peeves of this watch. It really is. Looking at this under certain lights, you may see it has a beautiful textured dial made to mimic the ocean floor, and a beautiful blue AR coating over that sapphire crystal. So this is one of my favourite, but at the same time it's also one of my pet peeves of this watch. I love that dial. All I wish they'd done is not print the name on it. Now, because they've printed the name straight onto a textured dial, the name and the logo in certain angles, let's just say it looks a little bit weird. But for what I paid for this watch, which was £68, I'm not going to complain about that at all. So, as I was stating earlier, we have a single sapphire crystal with a very, very, very slight doming to it. Now, I don't know how many people have picked up on this, but there is actually, that does not sit flush with this case. Doesn't sit flush at all. Which to me would then prove it is domed. Now, I've heard a lot of people telling me, no, it's not domed, it's just slightly risen. But my personal opinion, I can see a slight dome into that. Now, for the loom, we are using a BGW9 Super Loom. Now, normally, I'm not 100% sure if that is true. On this watch, I believe them. The loom on this watch is absolutely phenomenal. And like my past few videos, when we get to the end of the video, I will put a loom shot up. It's amazing. You will also notice the pip on top of the watch is also loomed, and that is using a C3 loom on that pip, so we even get a little bit of a colour contrast with it. Absolutely beautiful. We have a unidirectional bezel, it's a 120 click, and its operation is, to be honest, absolutely amazing. See if you can hear these clicks. It's not tough, it spins beautifully all the way back, and it lines up. Come on, Seiko. This watch cost me £69 and that lines up perfectly. Yes, there is a little bit of bounce in that bezel, but I don't mind that. It lines up perfectly, and that makes me happy. So, whilst looking at this watch, it is made out of a solid stainless steel using 316L, along with the bracelet, which are all very solid links with a beautiful polish in between each link. Now, a lot of this watch is using a very fine brushed steel to it, with a slight polishing just to some of the intersections and along with some of the links. The crown on this watch, grippy. I will say now I didn't want to be able to say anything bad about this watch because this style of watch is my dream watch. But Addiesdive, what are you doing? Them sections underneath here and above this crown are so sharp. It's unbelievable. The amount of times I've caught myself, scratched myself, changing the times and just messing around with the watch is unbelievable. And it hurts. I can't lie, it does hurt. But besides that, that crown, the grip, fantastic. The way it operates, fantastic. Smooth, slides in and out just how it's meant to. Amazing. Genuinely amazing. So, as we now go around to the bottom, now this is my only problem with this watch. That's a stamped clasp. Come on, Addiesdive. A stamped clasp. Now I understand that with everything else that you have going on with this watch, for the price that you pay, I cannot complain at a stamped clasp. You even get a signed crown. But the clasp for me, I will be honest, it locks in, it secures perfectly. It is a very tough clasp. It's not going to cause me any problems in the long run. But I would have preferred just a milled clasp. Now, I do have a watch to compare this one with. It is currently sat on my wrist, and it is the Heimdall Sharky, however you'd like to state it. It is a Seiko Monster homage. And this is the watch that I have been using as my comparison to compare this watch to. Now, I was very lucky. I don't know what happened on AliExpress, but I ended up getting my Heimdall for way under 60 quid. I'm not gonna put up or state what price I did pay for that, but I got it cheap. I don't know if there was just a crash going on with the money and stuff like that at the time, but it was, I got it at a remarkable price. But not gonna lie, it's not much better. It is, but it's a better watch as my Heimdall, but it's not much better. Like, for what you're paying for these. My dream watch is a Seiko Monster, but if my dream watch wasn't a Seiko Monster, I'd never bother buying one. These watches are just phenomenal. Absolutely fantastic. The way they line up, the way they operate, the sturdiness of them, solid links, they're fantastic. They really, really are fantastic. The way that dial catches that light as it bounces off the polished ends of them loom pips is just phenomenal. Once again, I have stated this in previous videos, I am not a fan of Cyclopses on watches, so I am very, very happy that this has a very legible date window to it. And it is, it's very legible. I can't complain about it at all. Other than that, I really wish, now I used to be a fan of this, but I really do wish, come on Addiesdive, please change that logo. What's going on with it? I'm not 100% sure. I don't even think you guys are 100% sure what's going on with that logo. Is it the worst from AliExpress? No. Not even close to being the worst logo. Could it be improved? 100%. 100%. Now, all of these do come with it's almost like a plastic casing, waterproof casing, very well sponged, very well wrapped. I think it took me a good 10 minutes just to get all of the plastic off from around this watch. They are, from what you used to get from AliExpress, this watch didn't even take 2 weeks to turn up. I don't know what AliExpress have been doing over these past few years, but the improvements they have made is phenomenal. It is genuinely, genuinely phenomenal. The watches that they have started releasing, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Now, I am going to give you guys a quick loom shot in a minute, and I am going to put next to it my Heimdall, just so you can see the differences in the loom. So I will be back with you in just a second. And here we have the Addiesdive on the left and the Heimdall on the right. Now, as you guys can see, can't complain about either of the looms at all. That BGW9 blue is stunning. It is probably one of my favourites, but that Heimdall, which a review will be coming on soon, and I will be comparing both watches at some point against a Generation 1 Monster, which I have been very lucky, and I do know a gentleman that does want to lend me one, so I can give it a review. But yeah, it's amazing. That's the best way to put it. But once again, thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I do keep telling you that these videos are going to start getting a little bit better. They will. I am waiting on equipment for lighting, settings, all that sort of stuff. And as soon as that as soon as that shows up, you guys will be the first to know about it. But other than that, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Leave us a like, maybe even subscribe if you enjoy these sort of videos. Please don't be afraid to leave comments on how I can improve. I know there is a lot of improving I need to do. So please do leave suggestions down in the bottom, down in the comments. They will be much appreciated. I do read the comments. I will be reading through all the comments, and I will be replying to people. I am also wanting to do, if it ever happens, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but when we get to certain milestones in this channel, say 50 subscribers, 100, so on, I do want to start doing a few competitions, a few watch giveaways and stuff like that. So if that's something you're interested in, drop us a like and drop us a subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at watches_wonders. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later.